On this week's Collusion Center, Antonio Brown goes for three, we sweat our way through the new studio opening, and it's time to salsa. Your weekly recap starts here. Welcome everyone to Collusion Center. My name is BJ Robinette. I'm here with my fellow anchors, Andrew Colicchio and Ganesh Sarma. Ganesh, welcome to the league. Good to have you. Welcome to Collusion Center.
You're welcome for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. How are you all doing this week?
I think I'm doing pretty well. Terrible.
Okay, well, now that we have that covered, this is a fantasy advice show. So let's start off with some fantasy advice. Ganesh, we'll throw it to you.
We'll start with the Chiefs and Chargers in a game where Kansas City used some good old-fashioned mayonnaise-slathered Midwest fuckery to overcome a 3-touchdown deficit and topple San Diego in overtime. The Chargers were winning handedly, but at the end of the first half, Phillip Rivers' favorite wide receiver boy toy, Keenen Allen's knee imploded. Perhaps a sign of things to come for the Chargers in the second half. For you clueless sad sacks who probably reached for Allen in the first place, let's talk possible waiver wire replacement options, and we'll start in Philly with Nelson Agholor. Agholor disappointed basically everyone, including his parents last year, catching only half of the passes thrown his way, making him about as effective an option as pulling out. He looked a lot better in his 2016 debut as he connected with Eagles rookie quarterback Carson Wentz in more ways than one. I heard they shared a bloomin' onion after the game, if you know what I mean. Agholor finished Sunday's game with 4 receptions on 5 targets for just under 60 yards and a touchdown. Next up, Bengals wideout Brandon LaFell. A perennial example for mediocrity, LaFell might actually factor into the Bengals offense in a significant way this year. He played in 55 out of the 57 snaps he took against the Jets Sunday afternoon, and will definitely get his looks, especially if Eifert isn't 100% next week. LaFell had 4 receptions for 91 yards in Week 1, and has a favorable matchup against the Steelers secondary in Week 2. Honorable mentions go out to Colts Philip Dorsett, Cowboys Cole Beasley, and Patriots Chris Hogan. Dorsett definitely has a high ceiling, but in an offense where Luck has 5 viable targets, he's really a boomer bust type of player. Cole Beasley was freshman Dak Prescott's favorite target on Sunday, but only mustered 65 yards on 8 receptions. He's definitely worth a look in 12-team PPR leagues, and he's definitely on my watch list. Patriots Chris Hogan could function as a band-aid, as he'll surely get his fair share of targets until Gronk gets healthy.
And now on to a topic that's near and dear to my heart. Let's talk teens. This is Teen Talk. The clear winner of Rookie Play this week was Eagles QB Pete Wentz, who also happens to moonlight as the bass player of my favorite band, tween sensation, Fall Out Boy. Wentz danced his way to a 60% completion percentage, 278 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Thanks for the memories, but this season, we're hoping for a little less Sam Bradford and a little more winning a fucking game. Seriously, Sam, you're a horrible garbage person and you should feel bad for it.
And then, of course, you have the tight play of Texans wideout, Will Fuller. Fuller? I hardly even know her. As smooth as a lubed-up meat piston, Fuller eased right into this Texans offense as he finished the day with 5 receptions for 107 yards and a touchdown. The kid's got spunk, I'll tell you that.
Speaking of spunk, how about big, strong Dak? Prescott, that is. This Dak might be young, dumb, and full of cum, but that didn't stop him from slouging out 227 passing yards. Unfortunately, he choked time and again in the red zone and finished with no touchdowns and a weak completion percentage of 55.6. At the end of the day, this Dak just couldn't get the job done. You know what I'm talking about, ladies.
Whoa, okay. Looks like we have a Brady Watch 2016 update here, fresh off the wire for you folks at home. With the first week of a 4-game suspension under his belt, let's see what Tom Brady has been up to in his free time. Oh, looks like Brady is actually shopping for a new belt altogether. Our sources tell us that Brady is finally taking fashion advice from the model in his life that doesn't wear sweatshirts to work. Tommy Boy looks to be in the full swing of a true Maxinista makeover. Here at Collusion Center, we wish him all the best. We will throw it to Tommy and his classic top 5 plays.
Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to my top 5 plays of the week. The number 5 play of the week is Brashad Perriman snatching this 35-yard pass out of midair. That catch was hotter than a goat's butt in a pepper patch. At number 4, we have Charles Sims with this 23-yard touchdown reception. He shakes off 6 tackles on his way to the end zone. He's got a new nickname, Vaseline. The number 3 play of the week is LeGarrette Blount with this beastly 8-yard touchdown run. LeGarrette, drag that defense back to Arizona where it belongs. Riddle me this. What's green, has State Farm insurance, and took a shit in Jacksonville this week? At number 2, we have Aaron Rodgers getting pulled down by his jersey as he connects with Devontae Adams for this 29-yard touchdown. Woo! I hope my mama didn't see that. The number 1 play of the week is Ben Roethlisberger tossing the rock to Antonio Brown for a 26-yard touchdown. That catch was beautiful. Go spank you an ass, Antonio!
And now, let's take a quick visit to America's most expensive homeless shelter, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, where Derek Carr and company broke the collective hearts of New Orleans Saints fans and what shook out to be a real Bayou ball scratcher. Yes, Saints fans everywhere were blown away as they watched the NFL's favorite grandfather throw for 423 yards, 4 touchdowns, marking the 6th straight year of Breeze throwing for over 300 yards in Saints season openers. But in the end, Breeze, whose professional career started before MySpace even existed, was bested by mascara-wearing boy wonder Derek Carr. Carr, a human so egotistical he named both his sons after himself, threw for 319 yards, 1 touchdown, and a ballsy game-winning 2-point conversion. Del Rio's swollen family jewels didn't end with his risky play calling. After the Raiders swam away from the Superdome with a win, ESPN published an article called, "Yes, it worked, but was going for 2 the right call for the Raiders?" Del Rio responded like he was the seed of Paul Bunyan himself, tweeting, "Good thing ESPN isn't coaching the Raiders. That's a spicy meatball."
And finally, we'll close with this episode's Not So Smart Team of the Week, a segment where we highlight the dimmest and dumbest from our own fantasy league, Knots Up. This week's entry is special in its own right because, well, it spans several weeks. Things were off to a great start in Phil's inaugural season as he made a shrewd choice to keep elite tight end Jordan Reed in the last round of our draft. However, things quickly fell off the rails for the busy Phillips as he threw any sort of strategy out the window and squandered his first-round draft pick on off-injured Rob Gronkowski. Why he did that in a league where you can only start 1 tight end, we will never know. And though Phil is so dumb that he couldn't pour piss out of a boot if the directions were on the bottom, he soon realized the errors of his ways and traded an Eric Deckard, Jordan Reed package for Sammy Watkins and Travis Kelce.
Let's break this down for a second. Phil drafts 2 top-tier tight ends. All right, fine. He realizes he can trade one and probably get a significant haul for either Reed or Gronk. So he makes a trade. A trade in which he trades 1 wideout for a comparable, maybe slightly better fantasy receiver, and then Jordan Reed for another fucking tight end. Phil, what the fuck were you thinking? What did you accomplish here? You got fisted and fucked by the long arm of a more experienced fantasy player, and what's more is you just lay there and took it. Oh, and it gets better. The tight end you did keep immediately gets sidelined, which surprised no one because Gronk is more fragile than Punch-Out's Glass Joe. And then, not even 4 days after you ostensibly loosened your knot with your own dick, a report comes out that Sammy Watkins could be shut down for several weeks because of some severe discomfort in his surgically repaired foot.
So rats off to you, Busy Phillips. Your play is loose, your strategy is non-existent, and you're more amateur than a casting room couch porn star. You are not so smart team of the week.
And with that, we can wrap up week 1. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the show, follow us on social media and like our shit. We'll be back next week, and until then, keep it right, keep it tight. This is Collusion Center.
Hey, somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs to the 50. He runs to the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, that was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
I tell you.